Hi, I'm Fiona, and today I'm going to be showing you how to letter on a balloon. This is just going to be a nice basic intro tutorial with a couple of tips and tricks. So I am really excited to share this information with you. In the comments, please let me know if you have any questions about running a balloon business or making certain balloon things. I would love to share it with you. One of the main things that I want you to do when you're writing your lettering for your balloon, have your message written out so you can see it, because that is the #1 way to not spell things incorrectly. We're just gonna do something simple. Happy birthday, Colina. When I write on the balloon, I'm gonna want the name to typically be the biggest. So it would look like that on the balloon, and think about you've got all this space. I love a full script look. That's really great, especially if something you want it to look kind of pretty, you know? So I would do my letters, oops, with a little bit of movement even. And then at the top, happy, like that. Also do we could do we would want this word to be a little bit more like that. You know, something with a little cute banner. These are just your sketches. You're just trying to get your look kind of in your head and out of the way. So like if you wanted to do these little serifs on your letters, you're like, okay, well, I need a certain amount of space to do that. And then maybe you write birthday like that, and then maybe happy gets big above it. And then we can add cute little lines to kind of fill in the space, maybe some over here, that kind of thing. We don't want those. To be like that kind of look. I would say unless a client specifies otherwise, you want the name to be biggest, but let's say you don't and you want the focus to be on birthday. I would write birthday first, then happy, and then underneath that and if it was a kid, I usually like to do lowercase writing. So especially if it's for, I don't know, a birthday under 9 probably, I would do nice, easy to read if they're at reading age. If they're younger than reading age, it doesn't really matter. And then we could do something like that. And again, lines, anything like that. Another idea that you might want to have, like let's say you're not doing a birthday, even a Mr. and Mrs., I would start with the last name. So it would be like Gill is the last name. And then above it, I would keep my Mr. and Mrs. Very, you know, nothing too fancy here. And then you could always add a cute little diamond ring in there or something if you want. You could do Mr. and Mrs. and then have just some cute little, very simple leaf shapes The point of this is that it looks handmade, not that it looks perfect. Because that is part of the excitement of one of these balloons, is that you know that an actual person wrote it. So then I would even come in and I would fill these in. But of course you don't need to go through this much detail in the sketch unless you want to. It's totally up to you. Before I was hand lettering a lot, I definitely made lots of sketches. So that kind of thing. Even very simple floral motifs look great, like that. Even a simple leaf shape, or one of these. You know, you can fill it in however you want. Sometimes I love to add some detail in the end because it just makes it look like more of a finished product, or I can fill in really weird spaces with cute little swirls, you know, things like these kinds of shapes, dots, sparkles, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get to writing on the balloon. This is going to be a testament to how you can really write on a balloon anywhere if you want to. The lighting is quickly fading, so we've moved outside. Luckily it's not super cold, but here we are with this balloon. Now I'm going to show you how to actually write on it. So I like to hold the balloon. Typically if I'm in a chair, I hold the balloon between the table and my legs, and I face the noodle. This is the noodle, by the way. That's what we call this little bit right here. So I will face the noodle like coming towards me, and the top of the balloon is going that way. So my idea is that, like, okay, this is the center of the balloon, which it's never going to be perfect. And I'll say, if you write super crooked, just make it look like that's the point. But for now, because I'm standing up, I'm going to bring the balloon up higher right here. Okay. I don't have my marker paper with me, so I've shaken up my marker really nice, and now I'm just testing it on my hand. Great, looks good. And I'll hold it in a different direction. For my happy birthday, I'm only going to use this point right here, which you can see is flat. And if I put the flat edge of this chisel, the narrow one, not the wide one, but the narrow one, onto the balloon, then I get a skinnier line using my same marker. We're gonna do birthday, which if you remember from our sketch, we need it to be about the length of the word. So we're gonna start our B over here. I love all lowercase. That's just a preference. And please, take as much time as you need. There is no rush. Our goal is to write it once, not a bunch of times. Now I'll just throw happy in here. And if I want, because it's looking a little choppy right now, if I had a different marker with me, I would use that, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of thickness, like this. And I am getting cold, so my lettering skills aren't as good as they usually are. That's just a reason to do it, to be honest. Oh my God, it's getting worse. This doesn't look very good. It looks better. So maybe I will fix it inside. Okay, and then for this, I can just even use my thick side. So you can see I colored that in with the thin end of my chisel. Here, I'm gonna just use my thick chisel right over the wet paint. And then you can fill in the little areas with a smaller marker. This is called modern calligraphy, and it is about imperfection and bounciness and just cute, whatever. Truly, the idea is not to be perfect. When you're doing your work for a celebrity or a company and it's going to be in an ad or something, that's when you want it to look real good. But for this, we just want it to look nice. And then I like to thicken up my edges. I think it pulls the piece together. Ooh. Like that. I would add it here. A little bit on my Y. Something like that. Okay. You know what? It's not amazing, but what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go in, just clean up these lines. See how just doing that immediately changed the shape, and it looks so much better. And I can go and I can open this one up, and I'm shaky because I have nothing to lay my hands on, but that's all right. And maybe I'll make this a little thicker. I would go ahead and do that to the rest of this so it all looks nice. We can also add just some cute little flourishes and lines. Feel free to turn your balloon around when you're doing this. You can add little dots on top, make it look more like confetti, that kind of thing. There we go. Yeah, it's not amazing, but hey, we're gonna get you started. So then we step back and you can hold your balloon just like this and it says your message, and there's nothing greater than that. So there we go. That's how you do it. And it looks so good in here. So you can imagine if we had some cute tassels under that, like look how great this is. Few quick tips before I go for your early in your balloon lettering journey when you're still trying to take it easy on yourself. I want to say punctuation is not necessary. We don't need exclamation points, we don't need commas, none of that stuff. Unless your client is like, I have to have an exclamation point, just leave it, please. It's a balloon. We can tell that we're celebrating something. Another note is that if you are writing kind of crooked and funky, just make it part of the look of your balloon. If that happens time and time again, which I'll get into a way where I'm like, all my words are slanted, I make them extra slanted, because if it's all going in a direction but it looks like it's on purpose, it's gonna look a lot better than when it just is to the side. I'll show you how to do that at some point as well. Another good thing, which I'm even feeling with this balloon, is take a step back from your work. You are not perfect. This doesn't need to be perfect, and it's supposed to be handmade. I cannot emphasize that enough. The whole point of bringing hand lettering into your balloon business is speed, because once you can do that, it takes me probably, when I'm in the groove, I can do this within 3 to 5 minutes and I can churn them out. And that's what you really want, because cutting a decal takes a lot of time, coordination, fonts, peeling up the different layers, sticking it straight on the balloon, so much stuff. So if you can do this, like, you're gonna take your balloon business to the next level. And if you're interested, I'll talk to you about how I do pricing on my balloons and that kind of stuff in my business. And also, just FYI, I don't fill my balloons with 100% helium. because it saves a lot of money. So I highly recommend, I'll show you in another video my like setup for my helium tank, but getting a 60-40 split for your helium balloons, which puts in 60% helium, 40% air. They still are nice and strong. And they're gonna last a long time still, especially if you're coating the insides with high float, but you are just gonna make your helium tank last so much longer, and that can be a godsend. So yeah, this is it. It's like, it's pretty cute, and I can't wait to teach you more things on how to do stuff. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. Like it and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff.